are going live now. Hey, everybody. We got a 10-second head start. Welcome to Pink Flag. This is episode 12. Welcome to Dysfunction.
Well,
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
let's sip to episode 12.
All right,
Episode
I'm sipping
12, our
something
first
different.
Thursday night episode.
What are you sipping on, bro? Let's
I'm
talk.
not even going to tell y'all that.
I'm
I
nervous,
have
bro.
some Jim Beam.
No, I just have
Some
some.
sweet sangria.
I have Sierra Mist and Ciroc
Oh,
in here.
Oh,
So
okay. I was gonna give watermelon Ciroc, but I realized I have to go to work tomorrow. And as dysfunctional as my job is,
do they know you do this?
no, but I do have one of my staff members on my Facebook page. So if she tune in, she knows how dysfunctional the job is. But yeah, we're not going to name names where I work, but we are talking about dysfunction today. And we're talking about dysfunctional families, not dysfunctional workplaces. But
We're talking about dysfunctional families, dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional workplaces.
the people who are dysfunctional at work must come from a dysfunctional family.
Is that how it happens though?
Yes, it gotta be. It got to be.
Like, where do you get these sketch habits?
I think some people are just miserable, and their misery brings out dysfunction.
I agree with that.
If you're not happy, you don't want no one else to be happy.
Let me tell y'all. Let me start off. I'm gonna kick it off. And I'm gonna be honest. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
So we're gonna do. I'm on dysfunctional families. So I'm being honest. I don't care. It is what it is. We shaking the tables tonight. Let's do it. So y'all know I'm a newlywed, right?
Right on.
And my husband sent me a sexy pic, but it ended up in the family group chat.
No, America. No, America.
Wow.
Wait. It gets better. So, nobody can really say nothing. We're newlyweds. This is what newlyweds do, right? So I have it out with one of my drunken, dysfunctional cousins. Months later, why she still had my husband's sexy pic in her phone, and because she's dysfunctional and a drunk, she told me I was a whore. I'm saying I'm a whore. You got my husband in your phone, and I'm the whore. You better get off my phone right now.
Hold up. But what I want to understand is, why are you a whore? Because your husband's sending you pictures.
You own that piece of acreage.
Right.
I got papers.
You got papers.
Yeah.
Kobe's yours.
Let's talk about dysfunction. This is how dysfunction it gets.
And
my family, she was, and let me tell you something. This is something so in my mind, so unforgivable, because as y'all know me, I don't bother nobody. I don't do none of that whole thing. And the fact that you was able in your drunken haze send me back the pic of my husband, you can never talk to me again in your whole entire existence of life. Period. Because it's wrong. Period. When it's a marital thing or not a marital thing, it's just wrong, because we're cousins and we're talking about, this is first cousin. We ain't talking about marriage. We talking about our parents or siblings. And she had my husband's sexy pic in her phone.
Let me tell you what's up with that.
Let's talk.
Yes.
Let's go. Look, Barbara is like, what?
Let me tell you what's up with that. She enjoyed what was on that picture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you think?
So so let me tell you something. If she didn't enjoy it, she would have erased it right away. First of all,
let's just say, Barbara. I'm gonna use Barbara. This is my sister from another mister. We are thick as thieves, right? Me and Barbara will hide the bodies for each other, right?
Oh,
let's say accidentally.
If I ever run away from home, check the flights to Atlanta.
Right. Let's just say exactly like this is what it gets no closer than this, you know. So let's just say she accidentally sent me Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy pic. We ain't going to talk about what, you know, but y'all can read between the lines of sexy pics, right? Even if Dave was this long, can y'all see my hands?
You stupid. I hope he ain't that long.
Even if he was.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. The moment you did that, I'm like, damn, but then I'm going to be like, delete.
And then
and then call you like, girl.
Sober up.
Right.
Girl. Like, did you accidentally send me something?
But see, the thing with that is, I'm not going to lie. You know your brother get a few of those pictures from time to time. Now, you always have to check your phone. I'm not sending nothing out. I'm not doing nothing unless I got too many homegirls and my daughters. Nah, I don't think none of them ever want that popping up. You almost had a heart attack when somebody told you about it. So
somebody told me about this brother, and then I was scrolling through the other brother's pics, and I saw the other brother, and I was like, and you know what I did? I slapped him. Don't you ever have pics in there and let me scroll and looking at my nieces and nephews, and I stumble on that. I smacked his face. So, but this is how dysfunction my family can get. Now, me and Wise have been through the trenches. We've been through the trenches. And, you know, my dysfunction with family and stuff like that, and my brothers, you know, robbing the next door neighbor's shit and smacking somebody off the bench, and now we got to fight and we got to save my brother from getting shot by the cops. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how my dysfunction. Let me tell you something. I kid you not. My family's so dysfunctional. You ever see like when like it's maybe like let's just say 4th of July. And you know, maybe people are out drinking, maybe like neighbors out drinking, and they might get into a fight with each other, neighbors.
Yeah.
My family get into a fight with each other. Not the neighbors.
All right.
Just
watch. I'm gonna one up with you.
Let's go.
The best one, I'm telling you.
Let's go.
All right.
Go ahead.
You remember when my sister passed away?
Mm-hmm. R.I.P.
The night my sister passed away, my family was outside of the house fighting each other.
Her kids,
niece, nephews, everybody brawling. While my mother's upstairs crying, all this is going on, they're outside brawling. Cops, and cops is there. You know, like my sister was a well-known minister. She's very known. She worked in the precincts with the, so they already knew like who this was. So now I'm embarrassed because it's like she's upstairs dead, and it was.
She died in her home. She died in her home.
Okay. Right. It was insane. So
Wait, they was fighting before the body was removed?
yes,
Okay.
and
That's big.
and right now, I would say they none of my family speaks, like it's so broken. Still hasn't mended. It's crazy.
You know
So
what's sad about that? It always take that one family member that to pass away to break down the dynamics of a family. That's
yep,
crazy. It be, and you never know who that person is going to be until they actually die.
right.
Never know.
And
So
honestly, like my sister was only a couple of years older than me, so I didn't even think about like nothing like
right,
that. So
right.
when it happened, I was like, whoa. And you know, I'm more of a, I get up here and talk with you guys and all that, but you know, I'm an introvert, very much so. So like that was my outlet. That was my person. So when all that stuff happened, I kind of lost my mind. I was out there on some, when I say I cursed everybody out,
I believe you.
the cops was like, wise?
Do they know you because of your job as well?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the next thing. Like these are people that I work with also.
Remember when we was in the 4-7? They knew us too.
Yeah, right, right. So you know how it is. So
Yeah.
when your family puts you in that situation, you're like, wow, okay. So that was a little different.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Barbara.
Let's go, Barbara.
It's close. It's gonna be close.
Is a close contender. Come on.
Um, my family had beef with the family of one of the other babies that was being christened at the same christening as my son.
Okay. Lord, they
They
fighting in
didn't even
church.
get outside.
Look, they fighting in church.
Right.
In
I knew it.
up the aisles, in the pew, on the altar, in the confession booth, in a big like Gothic Catholic church.
Wow.
What?
It had to be like 50 people.
Christening.
Yeah. Like a Catholic christening with like water and the baby.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
What?
Inside of a Catholic church. Pretty much. Yeah.
Literally.
Very much. Yeah. And it wasn't anybody's kid, it was my kid. Yeah.
They were fighting over your kid.
It's a long other story
Mm.
for a whole different episode.
No, fighting in church it gets I guess it gets no more dysfunctional than that.
I
Yes.
mean, we've had some relatives like pull out a gun at a wedding. We've had the fights when people were dying in the next room, or people, outside funerals and stuff like that. Being, being like from two really large Irish families, it kind of just is like that.
Oh my lord. That's
We've had
big.
we've had people try and pick up other people like during funerals. Yeah.
Well, they do say the best that's some of the best hookups is at funerals.
What?
Yes, yes,
I've never heard of that.
yes, they have.
Kind of does make sense though.
They said people are grieving. They're more open to speaking and conversing. Their guard is down, so it's easier to
If
like.
I ever got hit on at a funeral, I'm cursing the person.
I don't think it's in my DNA to do that.
Yeah.
But I believe there's people out there that like.
Oh, definitely would.
There are people that actually go to funerals to pick up women.
Whoever do that is
Old
just
people?
low.
Well, they're probably around our. I don't know if the younger dudes do it now, but I know the guys from my generation. It was a thing. It was definitely a thing for a while.
Really?
Yep.
That is crazy.
I think that's a little weird,
I
but
think that's weird as hell. Weird as
but fighting at a funeral is
That's
weird.
nice. They look good. Usually get cleaned up before you go to a
Right,
funeral.
right.
yeah, that's true.
Well,
That's
hold up.
you're
Let's
making me
let's
back.
let's roll that back.
Let's roll it back.
In our era, they got cleaned up. Now I go to funerals, I see people in shorts and New Balances.
That's true. That's true.
It's not like it
But it
was.
be those hood funerals though. It don't
No,
be
I've,
ever.
I've, I've been to different funerals, every nationality, everything, and still to this day, people don't do like they used to do. Like
No,
I
no.
I literally see people come out in shorts and sneakers to a funeral.
That's crazy.
But that's the norm now. It's getting dressed
You
up as
know what?
nothing.
But honestly, we buried my kid's grandmother 2 years ago. And my kids, as y'all know, are grown-ups. They could have not came out their room at that time in some shorts and sneakers, and I not say, "Go get on the damn suit." Like, you kidding me? Or a slacks in a nice shirt.
But like I said, it's a different era. And
But it's up to our era to train the younger era.
too late. Our era is fucked up. Our era.
Oh, we didn't. You know what?
You know what?
I don't know that we did it right.
I'm about to catch
Right, right. I agree with you. It's a like she said, it's a lot of dysfunction. Like
this.
I'll even speak on my behalf. You know very much how I am, and I got that because my mother. Everybody knows she's like a sweet, nice lady, but she has never been that super emotional, loving, like hug you all day. Like
Is that where you get that from?
that's where I get it from. Like my kids, my daughters will tell you, like, you are your mother's son. Stubborn is hell. When I say my mother is stubborn, oh my God. So, like I said, she would give you the shirt off her back, but she would, she's still a stubborn person that she's set in certain ways.
Right.
And that's where we get it from. And that's where a lot of the dysfunction comes from. Is because when you're raised a certain way, then you bring that up and you think you go two directions. You're either like, I'm gonna raise my kids exactly like I was raised, or I'm gonna raise them completely opposite from the way I was raised.
And
You know what? I
350
was
away from
definitely
crazy is still is awfully close to crazy.
Yes.
say it again, Barbara. Say it again.
350 degrees away from crazy is really close to crazy
Sure.
because you've gone all the way around, made all kind of different mistakes, and still ended up being fucked up in dysfunction.
Right.
So
And
my thing is, I feel like, do you feel like you can break the chains of dysfunction? Because I know for me, I was definitely the one who was like, My mother's mother passed away when she was 2. My mother went into foster care because her father was blind. So she didn't have a mom to model after. You know what I'm saying? And then she ends up with 7 daughters. So it's like she'll say, I didn't have a mother. And she always, her testimony is, I didn't have a mother, but my daughters ended up great. Right. But there was a lot of dysfunction along the way, definitely. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I knew I didn't want that for my three kids, because my three kids, I raised them to be like, listen, y'all are all y'all got at the end of the day. And y'all need to have a relationship outside of me. Because when I'm gone, it's gonna be y'all. When y'all at the funeral mourning over me, ain't nobody gonna feel what y'all feel as my children.
Hmm.
It's just gonna be y'all. So y'all are all y'all got. And that's how I raised my kids. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. Me and my sisters used to fight so much. We used to come, my mother used to try to have Sunday dinner. And she used to try to have Sunday dinner, and Sunday dinners would always usually be, don't touch my kid, don't look at my kid, don't say nothing to my kid, till we get into a big argument. And then my mother be like, everybody get the fuck out my house. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted something so different to watch for my kids. I know, like, it's so funny because I know siblings argue, but it hurts my heart when they do. Like, even though they're in Maryland and I'm in Georgia, like, when somebody call me and tell me there's a discourse between the three of them, I'm really hurt. But I think that has something to do with what I saw growing up, and I don't want for them.
I understand that. I definitely understand. It's like I told you, like the way I was with my brothers and sisters. It was close, but not close. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So everybody was out doing their thing, and I always told my kids, I want you guys to rock with each other and to depend on one another and to be there for one another, because family is everything. Now,
Every,
I'm not telling you to put them ahead of yourself, but you have to have that real relationship with your brothers and sisters. And like you said, you will have disagreements, you would argue, but at the end of the day, after that argument, clear that shit out and keep it pushing.
keep it
It,
pushing.
it shouldn't be no hard feelings. Like I know brothers and sisters that are fighting over crazy shit. Like it is family shit. But at the end of the day, if I know something that would help you and I tell you about it and you don't take my advice, I got to step off and just be like, okay, you will learn.
Right.
I've seen family, we all know you got those family members, aunts, cousins, different people. You go around them, oh, Sean thinks she better than everybody.
I've had that.
She got a book. She thinks she this. She thinks she that. And then when they get in front of you, oh girl, la, la. So you already know what it is.
Right.
You know what it is. You have those family members that's like, oh, why is well, they call me Boogie. Boogie always talking about his kids.
Boogie.
He always talking about his kids. His kids this, his kids that. I had family members. Both of my oldest sons are engaged to white women. I have family
Love
members,
wins.
huh?
Love always wins. Who
Right. I
cares?
have family members that's like, oh, his family don't like black people. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
Like,
Like,
first of all, I got 5 kids, so that's two
right,
out of 5. Now, if all 5 of my kids was married to or engaged to white people, then you can say that. But
but even let
and
me
then
tell you,
and then their mother is half white.
right,
Like, so,
But even if they was, they grew up what, in Staten Island?
yes,
And they were probably socialized in a
there you
part of
go.
Staten Island where everybody dated whoever they wanted to.
It
Like,
was like where they grew up, honestly, is predominantly Italian and Irish. So if these are your friends, and these who this is this my whole thing has always been, as long as you treat my kid right and you a good person, I don't give a fuck if you're green. Like I don't care. Just
That's so
treat my
crazy. I
kid
just had this talk today.
right. Just treat my kids right.
That's it.
That's it. That's all. But I've had family members. Your kids talk so white, and I'm like, what the fuck are you
how are
talking
they
about?
supposed to talk? Like, what does that even mean?
That's ignorance talk.
They
That's
weren't hood enough. They weren't hood enough.
Daddy at work.
Daddy's not at work. He's in the garage.
So at the end of the day, like we always say, you could pick your friends, you can't pick family.
Nope.
You can pick your nose.
But you could choose not to fuck with family. So sometimes you gotta make that choice. Sometimes you gotta make that choice.
That's true. So now, like we were saying before, that if you are dysfunction in your family, do you believe that can trickle over in your work life?
Oh, they call it generational trauma.
But do you believe like the people at your work is the ones who are, that's where the dysfunctional families come from? The people at work who cause all sorts of havoc, all sorts of nonsense.
He said,
Like,
you.
do you
Go ahead, listen, Kate.
that is somebody who
Uh-huh.
comes from dysfunctional?
I believe so. I believe a person could be. You could have so much dysfunction and turmoil and bullshit going on within your family that it just affects you in that way. Say you're a person that say you have those parents that nothing their kid does is wrong. So they never know boundaries. They never know right and wrong. So now, if you never experience being checked, and nobody ever told you like, no, you're wrong. Well, when you start working, you're getting around your coworkers, and that rubs over there. Like you're never wrong, and everything is everyone else's. So that's part of the dysfunction because you never learned how to deal with others. You're spoiled, or whatever the reason, and now you have to always have your way. And we all have those coworkers that feel they always have to have their way no matter what.
When you work in social work, when you work like treating like and treating clients and stuff like that, almost everybody in that field has trauma, which made them pursue that field. And the same can be said for law enforcement.
That's true.
It's people in law enforcement, firemen. Yeah, they just have this trauma that only serving others makes them feel human.
Mm-hmm.
Like the hole in their soul that needs to be covered or filled. That people that go into law enforcement and social work and firefighting and certain types of public service, that's why they do it, because they feel like it's going to give them some sense of completion.
I could agree with that.
Yeah, that they're not even going to get, serving others sort of becomes their alcohol, drugs, inappropriate sex. It's that.
Is there any such thing as inappropriate sex?
Not the way I do. I've heard.
You walked into that face first like this.
Hold up. Hold up. What did you say to young Barbara?
She said
Not the
not
way
the
I
way she do it.
Oh, okay. All
Not
right.
inappropriate the way she do it.
Okay.
But I think it is. It can be. I think sex
Yeah.
can be inappropriate. Yeah.
The only
If you can't not be in a relationship, if you feel like the minute you break up with somebody, you gotta put your profile back up on Tinder. You know, like you walk out of the place where you broke up with the person and reactivate your Tinder profile in the car. And
well,
we don't know that person. And no, I'm not her.
but there's some people that just can't be alone. There's
That's
some
one.
people that
Yeah, but I
can't be
think
alone.
there's also like a unhealthy. There are people who have unhealthy, like a unhealthy relationship with sex.
Yeah.
With what?
There's people who have unhealthy relationships with sex, and then they expect their spouse.
But what is unhealthy?
What is an unhealthy relationship with sex?
Yes, I would like to know.
Look,
I really want to know. Because
look at you like
No, people who can't be faithful. That's an unhealthy relationship with sex.
yes.
Because the person that you have a connection with and feelings for doesn't satisfy your need for intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, with that being said,
Come on, let's talk about it.
Yes.
say you're in a relationship.
Huh?
Say you're in a relationship and you tell the person from the start, I don't want anything super serious. We're dealing with each other, whatever. I feel on that level, you're honest, you're straightforward. Whatever goes on, goes on. We're
No,
two
that's
decent adults.
different though. That's different though.
And I told that person, I've been in that relationship where, you know what? I will be your date. I will go to whatever you want me to attend with you. When we get together, we will always spend like the night or the weekend. It's all good. When we're not together, we're not together. But then a few months into it, I was like, look, if I find a boyfriend, this is,
Oh, okay.
you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But you're being honest. You're honest with that person. And that's all a person can ask.
And then it took, I don't know, 3-4 months. And I mentioned that I met somebody that I liked, and he like totally ignored it. Kept inviting me to things, and then New Year's Eve, I used to go to the cop party
Oh,
or
yeah.
a cop party
Yeah.
after everything, like at 4 o'clock in the morning after New Year's Eve was like over.
Right.
And so what you doing? Oh, I have a date. No, you don't. Yeah, I do. Oh, this isn't going anywhere. You should tell him forget about it. I'm like, no, I don't think so. And it was like, for the next like month or so, can we kick it? No, I have someone that I like, but he's not your boyfriend. You're not my boyfriend either. You're just a friendly place to sit.
That's the way you describe it, huh?
Yeah. And yeah. And he lived in that part of Staten Island where lots of the public service live, and everyone that is in the public service lives in racial harmony, but there's no racial harmony outside of that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, I know the spot you're talking
Just
about.
saying what spot I'm talking about. But anyway, and like it wasn't until 7 months later. No, I guess it was over a year later. I bought like a brand new car. He was like, bring it over to my place. Give it a spin. And I was like, no, I have a boyfriend. You're not going to drive my new car. And I'm like, no, for real. This is real, real, real. And that was it. I never heard of it from him again, ever.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
But see, on a situation like that, I understand. The only sexual
So
thing I
you
would
don't think, bro, you don't think people have like an unhealthy thing with sex?
no.
Because people that are addicted to sex,
Okay.
You can do
and
really fucked up things.
You
yeah.
like sex.
No. We're talking about the people that will watch porn at work.
Yeah, on their phone,
That's not
with the
good.
volume down. We've all had that coworker. And I didn't work with you guys. So if you're laughing and I'm laughing, we've all had that coworker.
Oh yes, we have.
So this is what I'm saying. And those type of people will put that on their spouse. They want to have,
They want to have porn star sex, not intimate sex.
right.
Everybody wants porn star sex.
No, they
No,
don't.
no, anybody with a vagina does not want porn star sex.
No. I want porn star sex sometimes, not all the time.
Right. I ain't saying all the time, but I'm saying
But
once in a
there's some
while.
people that don't want porn star sex. Some people want soap opera sex.
But see, let me tell you.
Exactly. There are times like when you put on the whole outfit and the hookah shoes and the whole thing, you got the whole thing going on. You want the visual.
Right.
But then on Sunday morning, when you're about to get up and make your man bacon and coffee and everything like that, you really just want soap opera sex. Somebody to lean in and just
But
like,
it
And
also
correct
depends on that person.
it.
It depends on that person. Because
No, but my thing is, and honestly, to go back to our subject, like sometimes those actions are birthed out of dysfunctional
right,
families and issues and stuff that's within their families.
that is true. That
So
is true.
some of these things, some of these, sexual desires and all these things that, people bring into a relationship is birthed out of dysfunction in their upbringing, dysfunctional mama, dysfunctional papa, something of the sort. So do you believe that, bro?
No, that's 100% true.
Okay.
I do. We were talking before you got on. Wise and I were talking during like the setup, and like one of the things, my parents were together from 2 weeks after my mother graduated high school till she died, which was 47 years.
It's beautiful.
It was beautiful. It wasn't beautiful every day. Don't like don't mix that up. But
Nothing will be beautiful every day. No marriage is beautiful every day.
the thing is, made sure my mother was very pragmatic. That's like a perfect word to describe my mom.
Mm-hmm.
She was pragmatic. She always thought about what was the smartest option.
Okay.
And didn't made sure that we were prepared to be good long-term wives.
Okay.
And she pretty much let us know that being a good long-term wife and being happy weren't necessarily related. Like sometimes you gotta pick it. And sometimes I think that too. Like I was married for a really long time because I thought being a good long-term wife was admirable. So I stayed like in a relationship that didn't serve me because I thought it was the greater good was being a good long-term wife. Doing the cooking, the cleaning, making sure the money got banked and, all that other good stuff. And that was really dysfunctional because when I finally did choose myself, like my kids were kind of like, you don't you don't get to be you. Like being you isn't a thing. And I don't blame my mom. She taught me to do like so many amazing things. Like I'm a great cook. I keep a nice house. I have a good eye. My home always looks good. I usually always look good. Like
Right.
I know how to sew and cook and things and you know, like a lot of these things that are kind of lost on people.
Right.
You know, I can do like 10 loads of laundry and the whole thing. But,
Mm-hmm.
hmm,
She said 10 loads. Okay.
oh, you have no idea. No idea. Like I do laundry so much so that it makes everybody around me like, wow, look at that. I go to my sister's houses and like go into their laundry rooms and just start doing shit if I'm staying over. It's I was the oldest of I was the oldest in a big family, and doing laundry was kind of like therapeutic. But
Oh,
anyway,
nice.
that's yeah, it was just like a thing. You know, it was my chore, and I got satisfaction out of it.
But also,
That's a little dysfunction.
a lot of different traumas affect you throughout life. Like even the people you date and the things you are taught,
Let's play.
the things you are taught,
I don't know how to fix
it
it.
affects you down the road. Like I realized years later,
If I didn't fix it.
my very first serious girlfriend, not just the plaything, like the serious girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
that one messed me up for a lot of other girls.
What's her name? And tell me after the show so I could go smack her.
Oh, she's a saved and religious woman now.
Oh, dang. I can't smack in the name of Jesus.
Yes, you can. Give her the Holy Ghost.
People use Jesus for a dodge.
But but that one triggered me not trusting no other females. So that's where those trust issues came from.
Mm.
And down the road, I was like, okay, I see where that was. And you realize it later after it's a little too late, but you realize it. So you're like, wow, all right, this is what that was. Because there's so many directions I could have went in and done things. Like I've had her homegirls like try to like really sleep with me and stuff, and I would be like, nah, I'm with this one. Then down the road, you find out what she was doing, and you like, oh, okay, I should have did so. But now,
Should not have slept with her homegirls.
right, I
Easy
should
as
have.
fuck.
But you learn,
We
and
do.
but it affects you, and it doesn't affect you in a positive way though,
Which could
because
cause dysfunction in your relationships
right,
and other stuff.
and the thing with that is when you're in a situation like that, you're so focused on what was negative, you're not open to the positive that's coming to you.
I agree with that.
So a lot of like you, like I said, you know me, I shut down quick. So because of that situation, I have zero tolerance for a lot.
So let me
So
tell you,
I don't give people chances. Like
that's so funny. It's so funny because I know how you are, like you do.
yeah, I don't believe in nope.
And it's so funny because let me tell you, work. We're gonna bring up this work dysfunction, right?
Yes.
So I come on the scene. I'm the assistant director. Um, the director is intimidated by me. This New York girl, NYPD bred. I get there, I minds my business. Y'all know I don't start with people, right? So she was doing and saying a lot of stuff that, was just like too much for me. So the boss, the owner was like, I'm gonna take y'all to dinner unless we're gonna talk about it. So she was like, we had a disagreement on whether she felt like it was my job or not to chastise a staff member about something that a parent had complained about, right? So she kept going, well, I feel like you went behind my back to chastise is not the word, to reprimand the staff member, right? So I'm like, first of all, we're both directors. How is that going behind your back? If you didn't do it, then it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, this person said XYZ, don't do that no more. We had a conversation about it. It was the end of that. So she kept saying, but I feel like you went behind my back. I feel like you stabbed. And you know what I said to her? I was like, that is your shit. That's your
Mhm.
shit. That's whatever's going on in you. Because if we're both directors and I decided to reprimand a staff member as something they did, how is that going behind your back? First of all, we're not even friends. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, there's no unspoken agreement.
And that's what I told her. And the owner was like, whoa. But I was like, that is your shit and you need to own that's your shit. That has nothing to do with me.
Now, what did the owner do?
She just listened to us talk it out. But she definitely was like, no, she should have reprimanded because I'm like, one, you can't tell me how to manage because I created by doing what I do. I created this job for me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so the owner just was like, no, if somebody complained about something, you are supposed to go to that staff member and reprimand them and make sure it doesn't happen again. But then she goes, then that's another thing. You don't know me, I don't know you. So she was saying stuff that you can tell she was raised in some sort of dysfunction because I only know y'all people for 3 weeks. So one, let's put it out there. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. Let's start there. So then it's like, oh well, I, I feel like, you know, um, I can't trust you. I said, sweetheart, the feelings is mutual. But I just met you. Trust is built. Like, so you're just spewing your home dysfunction at work. Trust is built. I don't know you. I don't know you. I come to work, you're mad because the staff members love me because you know me. I'm cheerful. I'm praising the Lord all the way to work, and then I'm thugging it out when I go home. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to have a good day. But like, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to have a good day. My staff members love me because it's like I'm fair, firm, and consistent. You know what I'm saying? And they know I have their back. So now you're upset because then she's like, oh, well, some of the staff members think that you're their friend. I said, number one, I don't make friends in 3 weeks. I said, and number two, yeah, I have 12 sisters. I have a whole host of friends. I don't need y'all. So I don't come to work to like to make friends. I'm not here for this. I'm here to do a job. I'm here to be, kind to people. That's why my staff members love me. Fridays is donuts and coffee on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of boss I am. Sorry, you can't get out of your own way to be that type of boss, but that's not my problem. But you can tell that all of that she was spewing was dysfunction from internal.
But that's not only dysfunction, that is fear.
Yeah.
She's intimidated by
Yes.
your presence. So that's what that is. And it goes back to when we work together.
Yes.
You see different level 3 sergeants, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I work different from a lot of other people. I had other level 3s that used to come in the building. Why are you doing this? You got these people that, because this is what I do. Don't worry about what I do. This is
Period.
what I do. Because my people will bust their ass for me. Your people won't do that for you. So
Right.
that's what
Right.
it comes down to. Some people don't know how. Some people think being a boss or being in charge of a situation.
It's like you have to be an asshole.
Right. You don't
And
have
you
to be a potato.
don't.
You
You
don't.
don't. And you know what's funny? I worked with them at that point it was 3 weeks. And my staff was already like, Miss Sean, we will do absolutely anything for you.
But that's
Whatever you need us to
leadership
do.
skills. That's not friendship. It's good
That's a skill
leadership
set.
skills.
Right.
Will they follow you into battle?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because they know I got their back.
And that's what it's about.
And Wise, let me tell you something. When we worked together, like when I tell you I was his number 2 person. So I've always been in this leadership type role. You know what I'm saying? And Wise was this great leader to the point sometimes he would sit back and push me in front and be like, you know what? That's a great idea. You go tell them. Like, because he wasn't afraid to let his number 2 shine because he was confident in what he had going on. And that's why, I love, and you know what's funny, Wise? To even talk about what happened at work. So we started doing the birthday things, right? So we
Mhm.
used to do the birthdays at me and Wise. And grown-ups. Do you remember, Wise, when somebody was like, oh, y'all didn't do my birthday? So grown people, we're talking about people who have families, was like so bent out of shape because like there was a period of busyness and we forgot his birthday. Like,
Mhm.
and what did Wise do? He pulled out his money. Yeah, pulled out his money. Go get the man a cake.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
that person was back to feeling lovely, and we was the best people in the world
in
on
the
earth.
whole wide world. But I just feel like, and you know what I feel like too, and I think it's internal with some women, and it's not all women because I really am not one of them, because I've experienced a lot of dysfunctional bosses in school safety. I really like hone myself on, and I pride myself on not being that person, because I think a lot of women get in boss type situations and just lose their fucking minds. And I think a lot of that has to do with they feel powerful at work and powerless at home.
Right.
So it's imposter syndrome. That's what they call it. Imposter syndrome.
But
I
it's not
can't,
only women.
huh?
Agree.
It's
He
not
said
only
it's not
women.
only women.
Only women. I
It
think
definitely ain't only women. I know a lot of guys that a lot.
Yeah.
it's imposter syndrome. I'm not I'm not that person in I have the opposite of imposter syndrome. I'm not that person. This is generalization.
Hmm.
Whiskey. Anyway, but like I can't be very powerful at work if I go home and I'm like sluggo.
Hmm.
Like nobody respects me, nobody reveres me, nobody listens to me.
No one hears me.
Yeah, and I'm not heard or seen in my own home. So then I go out and I try and be this like leader, and it doesn't feel natural because you can't lead the people that you love you're expected to lead these strangers.
Right.
And
But
in my house, I'm the great and powerful Oz here now, because I used to not be when I was married. Here now, I'm in charge of everything
Right.
except money, because that wouldn't be good for anyone. But it's like, but then I go to my job, not my business, but my job, and I'm like the low cog on the wheel. And I've only had that job through COVID, so no one has actually ever seen me do like the people thing. And Sean has seen me with the people thing.
Yes.
And that's why we do this, because we are
Mhm.
like very engaging people. But at my job, I don't get to be an engaging person. And I feel like I am not my best self at all. In my personal life, with my family, with my friends, with my loved ones, I'm, I'm like the go to person.
Right.
And everybody, even after this recent natural disaster, like I reached out to my friends and I tried to find resources, and it was like an example of who I am. You got a lot of dysfunction in your workplace and you don't get to be you. You don't get to be your best self. Or it could be the only place you get to be your best self.
Right. 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 And I think for this person that I work with, you can clearly see that unhappiness, that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I had to put it on the table when we was at dinner. I said, let me tell y'all something. I don't have problems at home, and I will not come to work to have problems. I said, I am the chick who will leave for lunch and call and go, by the way, I quit. I'm that girl. I said, so I want y'all to understand that don't push, don't poke the bear, because
Don't poke the bear.
because I don't do that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm at peace at home. Of course there's marital arguments or whatever like that, but we make that shit up quick. You know what I'm saying? We don't have those issues. And I am determined that if I don't have issues at home, I'm not going to work to have issues. Because y'all people got issues and y'all want to bring them issues to work. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I
but I
told
don't even
you
know if
about
that's issue.
the fire story in the fireplace in August in Atlanta. Oh, he knew. Like, no, yeah, he was like, that's what's up. Okay.
Right.
But I don't even know if those are issues
What
as
do you
much
mean?
as sometimes, like I said, it's just insecurity. If a
It
person
is
is
an
very
insecurity. It is an insecurity. But to say you don't trust somebody and all this other stuff, when I just go, how I get down at work wise. I don't come to work to, you know what I'm saying? I'm really to myself. Like, and it is insecurity and it is fear, and I agree. But just certain things that was said from a person in their 40s, oh, they think they're your friends, and oh this and oh that, and you went behind my back. I think that's more than insecurities. I think that's just
dust deflection, because now instead of saying she fucked up and she's not doing what she's going to do at work, she's putting it on you, and she's like, "Oh well, you're too nice to them." No, it ain't that I'm too nice. It's that I know how to deal with people and I know how to do my job. So
period.
where you fucked up, I just got here and these people will work harder for me in 3 weeks than they worked for you in 3 years. So that person is fearful and insecure now. Don't do your
Yeah.
job so well, Sean.
You said what?
Don't do your job so well.
And I think that's what I have to do, like with and what's crazy? I come to work. Like, it's so funny because this is how crazy it is. In the office, it's two desks.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's COVID, I don't want to sit next to you any damn way. Because when I first got there, she got COVID. She had COVID. So I don't want to sit next to you anyway.
I'm going
But
to
you,
tell you, these kids are getting COVID in Georgia.
let me tell
Like,
you about Georgia. Let's sidebar about Georgia.
all right.
These motherfuckers in Georgia are crazy as all fucking get out. You hear me? No one wear mask. No one. It is insane out here. Let me tell you something. When me and Kevin,
My 10-year-old grandniece got COVID like her third week of school.
because these people out here are not wearing masks. Only one child where I work got COVID. One, he was a 1 year old. Other than that, it's the adults. But it's like, come on, like you're and I'm the only one and one other of my staff members who got COVID, and now she don't play no games. She wear her mask. She just came back this week. She wear her mask every day. She be like, Miss Sean, I am not getting COVID again. And I said, and other than that, me and her are the only one who wear masks in the whole building. And y'all ain't giving me COVID, so guess what? I'm wearing masks.
But let me tell you like that. It's like that all over the place. I go to the
No,
gym.
we can't. I came from New York. Trust me. Let me tell you something. When, first of all, Uncle Cuomo was not playing that with us. That's number
We
one.
was touching titties. Can we?
You said what?
Because he was busy touching titties.
I'm dead. But
Listen,
He didn't have time to pray about COVID. He
he
had
had to find something to do.
right, but I
I
listen.
love Uncle Cuomo.
I wasn't there when my Uncle Cuomo was allegedly touching titties. However, However, you cannot take away from him that he was the only governor that actually did his job when it came to COVID. And he didn't give a fuck. He didn't apologize. None of that when it came to protecting New York City. When we
So
were
Phil Murphy
in,
was being like a Catholic deacon.
you said what?
Phil Murphy was being like a Catholic deacon. Let's talk about the blessed souls that have left our community and only in our heart.
And not only that, let me tell you, when we was coming to Georgia to look for King, in the height,
In
after
the
we got
height,
married, in the height in 2020 when COVID started, no lie, me and Kevin is in the courthouse, in the court, masked up. The court in Georgia is like a room, but it's like small, right? So it's the thing, and I'm sitting in chairs behind Kevin and the attorney and the baby mama. The judge, who looked like he was 99 and a half, was like, oh, y'all, 2020 now. Y'all don't have to wear masks if y'all don't want to. We was like, what? We are wearing these masks. Y'all are crazy. In 2020, they were not wearing masks in Georgia. And the governor and the mayor is arguing because the mayor want mask mandates. And she's saying, y'all got to wear masks. And then the governor is getting on there. And then the governor is getting on there. No, y'all don't. Don't pay her no mind. Y'all ain't got to wear no mask.
But like I said, even over here right now, I go to the gym every morning. Like 90% of the people don't have on masks.
I don't wear a mask in the gym. I
You can
have
pass out,
it,
though.
and I'm vaccinated. I'm not wearing a mask in the gym. If they stop, I keep a mask with me because if the person, like if the manager of the room with the machines came up to me and said, "Excuse me, miss, but we have an informal mask mandate," I would put the mask on, but it makes me really uncomfortable. I have very bad allergies and sinus issues. So like running on the elliptical with a mask would make me just feel like not good.
I could see that, but anywhere else, it needs to be a mask mandate. It needs to be a mask mandate. We mandated it be a mask mandate at my job because we're up to 4 people, staff, and 1 child getting COVID. And guess what? They still don't wear masks. I'm telling you, I'll be the only one in there with my mask talking about, good morning, y'all. Y'all not giving me COVID. Y'all not giving me COVID.
I keep my mask on. I'm good
So
with it.
we had 1 hour and 5 minutes. What are we doing, guys?
Are we wrapping it up or are we going till 9?
Whatever you guys want to do. Hold on, let's see.
I think my husband is still with his client, which means King need to be in the bed in the next 5 minutes. So I can go run upstairs and put King in the bed and come back down while y'all can talk, or we can wrap it up. It's up to you guys.
Wise.
I think we should wrap it up.
Private dysfunction?
Huh?
Wrap it up.
Private dysfunction?
Yes. It's a lot of private dysfunction.
You think we should wrap it up?
But all right, before we wrap it up,
Okay.
do we have any idea what we're gonna talk about next week?
I believe next week we should talk about breakups. And I think we're going to have.
I knew she was gonna do it to me sooner or later.
What breakups?
You don't know. I am the best girlfriend or wifey until I'm not. And the thing is,
That's me.
when it happens,
Let me tell you how true that is for me while we were finishing up. I was with my son's father for 10 years, or shy of 10 years, something like that. Can I tell you, one day we were arguing. You know how you have these series of arguments as you break up. And he was like, who the fuck are you? Like, he was like, I don't know you anymore. Because you turned me into a monster. So now
Listen,
you get this person.
Me and my ex-wife never had an argument.
You told me that.
that's not good.
That's not healthy. And we already
I
had
know.
this discussion. We
I
had
know
this
that
discussion.
now.
Yeah, we have this.
It's a little too late now. I know it now, though.
Yeah.
I get accused of shutting down. I call it processing.
Me
But
too.
I get accused of shutting down. Because I need, the bigger the issue, in order to not tell you how 100 different ways that you can go fuck yourself in ways that are really damaging to our relationship, you need to just let me go sleep in the spare room
Let me fucking
2
be.
or 3 nights and not talk to you. I'll make food. I'm not proud.
Let's go.
But don't expect me to talk to you until I can talk to you using my indoor voice and some measure of common sense.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And we need to do this on a Thursday because I want to have my husband on because he thinks that he hates when I shut down. And we don't have like big knockdown drag out. We usually don't have big knockdown drag out arguments, but for me, I do need to shut down. I need to process because I don't want to talk about your mother and your cross-eyed dog. So let me be.
I don't want to call you a mother and a cross-eyed dog.
This is gonna be good. So we need to do it Thursday because you know what, it is also good because then Kevin's home and then he can put King to bed. But I would love to hear his input on this because I also like shutting down. I like shutting down because of the simple fact is I if I'm really that angry, I'm like the Incredible Hulk. You don't want to see me angry.
Oh yeah.
You don't
I
want to see
took the door off a freezer one time.
Wait, and it's so funny because in this meeting with my coworker and my boss, I told them, I said, let me tell you something. I don't start with people. If I'm in an argument, someone started with me. I said, and I can't remember the movie, and I got to figure out this movie, and I'm gonna remember it by our next podcast. There was a movie that the guy said there's two different kind of peoples in this world. The one who's loud and crazy all the time and come to work and they just, you make them mad. They're going to tell you that you made them mad. And then there's somebody who take it and take it and take it and one day show up at work and just kill everybody. Like,
Was that the one with Robert De Niro?
was it? I can't remember what movie that was, but that is such a true statement. And I'm the latter. I will take it. I will take it. I will take it. And then one day I'm just going to blow up. And you're not going to like it when I blow up.
All right. So our next one is breakups.
Break up. How to break up, why to break up, when to break up, and who to break up with.
Is there a way to how to break up? But let's talk about it.
The way to break up is say bye.
That's
Some people like the long goodbye.
That's it. All right, ladies.
Let's
it
do
was
it
a pleasure.
tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Right, 2 weeks from today, I will not be here.
Okay, so let's text on what?
You want to do it next?
We could do it next. We could do it next week.
We could do it next week.
Thursday. Okay.
Let's do it next week. Let's do it.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.